Good morning from a very windswept, lousy Peterborough. So, first of all, so many thanks for the new subscribers. Welcome aboard. Myself and Kat are really appreciative of that. We do like that. Secondly, the amount of advice that's pouring in. 95% of it is very good advice. Some of the things that have been mentioned we've already been aware of, but there's one or two items that was like, wow, that's a good shout. So I do thank you for that. Keep them coming. There was a question about Rebecca Adlington wanting to swim in the pond. Rebecca, if you're watching, you're more than welcome, but at the moment it's only about a third full and the water is bleak. So we'll leave that there. What I've been doing in the meantime, well, apart from spending money, I've been saving money. The skimmer that I got from Absolute Koi, Ultra Skim they call it, very strong unit. I'm sure that other retailers do their own version of a skimmer box, but I got this one. And I was struggling to get it out, so it was a case of I'm going to have to cut the front off and drag it through the hole in the wall. So this is what we've got. So that's how it is. I've dragged it out and I've had to cut the front off. So fortunately, after watching Righty, who we should all be following, I bought myself one of these and some rods, so I'm just going to poke it through the new hole in the wall and re-weld it. So I'm really happy with that, because I think they're about 275 quid a pop. Right, further to that, the height of the filter in the pond. So what I'll do is I'll show you the filter in the garage and do half an explanation, and then show you what I've got in the greenhouse and give you the other half of the explanation. So first off is the water running height. So according to the specs, it's 140 mil from the top of the filter, which is this mark. I don't know if you can see it or not, that mark. And then down here is 115 mil from the base, which is how much of this filter will just drop into the pit. So just that much, 115 mil only. This big cross and a circle with an L is where Queni Koi recommend I put the UV amalgam. I do appreciate those people that have suggested putting it in with the drum, and that's a very good call. In the, I believe in the Profi Drum 15, the drum is right at the side, so this would be the edge, not this. So putting the UV in from that way to clean the drum, great idea. With this version, this is the Queni Koi, as you know, Queni Koi 15 Combi, they recommend putting it in here. Now I've had a couple of recommendations to actually put it in central to the drum, clearly lower down in line with this, to keep the drum screen clean, and that is a really good idea. I'll give that some thought. I'll probably speak to Queni and some of the other guys that I know personally to see what their input is. So that's to be discussed. That's a rocking idea. And also, because I need to move this beast, it's not very heavy, but I've put it on a trolley. I don't know if you can see that. Braced it so it cannot go forward or backwards or side to side. And for those people who know me, I do over engineer, but I don't want to drop this in the drink. Right, we'll just pop outside and I'll show you the other half of the explanation. and hopefully everything will make sense then. Just a little bit of interest for those people that know a little bit about electrics, would like to see inside the control box for the QK15 Combi. I've just opened the lid, so I didn't expect to find much inside, and that's what you've got. So, relay, a type that I never used, finder relay, Conrad timer for your cycle I reckon, PCB with a couple of relays on, transformer, back of the isolator, so to hardwire this straight in won't take much. And then these are the sockets, quite tiny cables compared to what I'd expect, but anyway, that's what it looks like. Needed to open it up to find out how to fix it on the wall, but that looks pretty simple. So yeah, just a little bit of an addition. You might have found that useful. Cheers. And before I forget, sorry for the wind, I've taken out the central wall. So I've had a word with Matt Williams and he just said mix some mortar, smooth that area down, and then he can do his witchcraft. And I need to replace these flags temporarily so I can wheel the filter around. Right, what else is new? So I've cut the old slide valve off, and the pit is now full of water, but rest assured this just goes straight into the ground, so 24 hours that'll be bone dry. It's still coming through. I've only just cut it. This is the original waste, but I can use that portion of the pipework to go back on the original skimmer, which was in that hole. So I just need to put some mortar together, refill that hole and block it up. So that's another little job to do. The new skimmer hole will be here. So I've got to cut this section of brick out, push the skimmer back through and re-weld the faceplate on outside, but certainly not today because it's blowing so much. I'll be heating next door's windows rather than the actual PP. So those people that were saying, can you still change your amalgam with the filter in the pit? So as I explained in there, the filter will only drop 115 millimeters into the pit. Where did I get that figure from? So basically the full height of the filter, take away 140 for the running height, gives you a figure, and I think that was 680, 600 and something anyway. So the new water line will be here. That is 580 millimeters from the top edge of the pit, and I need 615, no, 600 and 500 and, help me out here folks, 595. So I only have to drop the filter that much, which means the amalgam on this side I can just slide out very easily. I do need to afford it some protection because of this door opening and shutting, so I'll probably put 2 bricks around it or 2 blocks of wood, bolt it into the floor so there's no chance that it's ever going to get damaged. This mark here and this mark here is where the filter will be sighted. That's a little bit fluid because it could slide either way depending on how much space I need for the bends. So as I said in the previous video, this is the waste pipe, and I'll have two inlets here. One will be for the bottom drain, one will be for the skimmer, and the one above will be the waste for the RDF. This socket and the main armoured cable that comes in is going to be changed for just a junction box. I won't really need any access to that at any time. I can get to it if I need to. It will be difficult, but what I'm going to do is just change that for a joint box, and then rerun the conduit and take everything up maybe another 4" all the way along. What I need to provide is a double socket for the bottom drain, air dome, and the RDF air supply when that's needed for the biochamber. Returns, I'm going to put the original gravity water blade and put it here and pipe it in somehow, and that'll return over the top, passing the brickwork and directly into the pond, close to the edge of the pond, so my grandchildren can put their hands in if they feel the need to. I'm going to put another return in this corner, and the 3 pipes you can see there are the original returns. This one is the top pond, that one is the lower pond. This one, the inch pipe, was for a water feature. That's going to be blocked off. I'm not using that at all, I don't need to. So I'm going to incorporate both the original returns, one new return there, one new return there, or maybe a little higher. And then over in this corner, I'm going to try and put together some valve and bypass system to take a air source heat pump if we do ever get to that point. I must stress that that is a big maybe. Big maybe. Very, very expensive. Yes, people heat their ponds. Yes, people don't heat their ponds. I'm all for looking after my fish, but not treating them like princesses. They are fish. You've probably noticed that I've got one of these. This is an absolute monster. Big old valve. That's a 4" valve. The plan is to put this at 45 degrees, which will be about there, then put a T-piece and then put another 45. I'll have to put this down, that is heavy. So the idea is I cannot come up vertical because it will clash with the underside of the RDF. The air pipe will have to be moved, so that's why you can probably notice that I'm digging down around the fittings so I can cut the pipe and put new fittings on. I'll then get to this point where there'll be a vertical pipe coming up, and I'll be able to rod the 4" line if I need to. Hopefully not. The T-piece then will come around this edge, around here, and then into one of the 2 inlets. And as you can see, I've written 3" from the skimmer. That will come down along this wall and follow suit into the other inlet. Yeah, so I'm going to do some more spending. I've just ordered some bricks and blocks and paving stones from Wicks because I am going to build a plinth in here. So this will be 2 lines of yeah, 3 concrete blocks, one in the edge, one in the centre, and one here. A few bricks just to give me the height, and then topped off with 2 600 by 600 by 40 concrete slabs. That will take me up to the height that I need, which is 115 below the filter pit. And fingers crossed that will work. We are still thinking about putting the shower back on somewhere. It's still to be discussed. What we're going to do is wait till the pond's finished, put the shower on the edge, see how we feel about it. So it's just going to be empty, sat on the edge. How does it look? If we don't like it, that'll be going. The easy pods, they're going. Without a shadow of a doubt, I don't need them. Total running cost at the moment, probably just behind sending the lander to Mars and the test and trace. Expensive hobby this, isn't it? Excuse me. So that's where we are, a water filled pit. I'm going to mix some mortar, fill that centre wall in outside. The fish are absolutely fine. I checked them all over this morning, put a little bit of food in, but they still weren't too keen. The air temperature is still a bit cold, although the sun's out. So that's where we are. Please keep the advice coming, I do appreciate it. Sometimes it's very difficult to get across the point I'm trying to make and consequently the point you're trying to make, so there's sometimes a little bit of a clash over what are we actually trying to explain. So I'm doing my best. I'm old, I'm retired, I'm doing my best. So that's it. As soon as anything changes, I'll let you know, but in the meantime, enjoy your weekend. Don't forget your card for your mother, and I'll speak to you all later. Stay safe, get jabbed, bye bye.